Well, welcome back. So, I assume everyone has seen Digital Foundry video. I assume everyone has seen by now the specs and what Xbox Project Scorpio can do in terms of the specs. Looking at the specs, and I can tell you just by looking at it that this is hands down the most powerful console to date. Keep that in mind what I just said. It's the most powerful console to date. We haven't seen anything like this before in the past, and I truly mean that. 12 gigabytes of GDDR5 RAM. Not only is it 12 gigabytes of GDDR5 RAM, but it also uses a very high-end memory bus speed. I think it's 300 something. I think so. I think it is. And not to mention that also has about 8 custom cores clocked at 2.3 gigahertz, which is also pretty good too, man. So memory bandwidth is 328, I think. 328? I think it's 328. So that is stunning. That is like a high-end PC, man. That is pretty much like a high-end PC. Really. And on top of that, they also included I think 1 terabyte hard drive they included. Not only are you getting a very powerful console with 12 gigabytes of GDDR5 high-end memory bus speed, which is insane. On top of that, you're also getting a 1 terabyte hard drive. That's kind of cool. And on top of the 1 terabyte hard drive, you're also getting a 4K UHD player inside as well. What else it has? Actually, I do have I put a little display paper so I can read it. I wrote some notes down so I can see if I can read it correctly. It has like 40 customized compute units. 40 customized compute units clocked at 1172 megahertz. That is insane, man. I don't think. Look, for those of you who are PC gamers, PC elitists, PC enthusiasts, for those of you who are PC enthusiasts, you know that this is no joke. You definitely can agree and say that this is pretty darn awesome for a console. This is a great upgrade. This is definitely way above and beyond of the upgrade for a console. And it's just looking at the specs, it's amazing what developers will be able to do with this. And I think when developers see this, when they see what this hardware in Project Scorpio has in terms of memory bus speed, in terms of CUDA cores, in terms of teraflops, in terms of compute units of 1172 megahertz, not to mention that it's using the AMD. I think it's AMD 86 cores clocked at 2.3 gigahertz. It is. I think it's 86. Yeah. 8 custom. I think it is. Let me see. Yeah. 86 cores clocked at 2.3 gigahertz. That's insane. So when they look at the CPU, when they look at the GPU, developers going to be happy. A lot of these developers will jump on Project Scorpio bandwagon. The reason why, because now with this machine, they have unlimited power to create the games they want to create. Meaning they'll be able to run games at the native 4K with the higher textures easy. Why? Because they have powerful CPU, great. Powerful GPU, great. Powerful memory bus speed, great. 1 terabyte hard drive, great. So it's gonna give, and plus on top of that, it has 4K UHD Blu-ray drive, so they can use 4K UHD drive to put their games on there as well. So they can read that 4K UHD drive and store more data on that disk. They can harness it as well. So this will make, the reason I'm saying this is a good news, looking at the specs, it's because now a lot of these developers will say, wait a minute, Sony, hold on a second here. Unless they come up with PlayStation 5 and it's something ridiculous like, I don't know, 9.2 gigahertz, 265 gigabytes of GDDR5 RAM, or something insane, unless they come up with that, but we don't know. But at the moment, when this console gets released this November, holiday season, this will be hands down the most powerful beast on a console market. Obviously, PC will always be ahead of its time because PC, it's unlimited. It's like a universe. There's no limits to what you can do on a PC. So I'm talking this in terms of consoles, and Microsoft is going to be, yet again, another second time around console that pushed the boundaries in terms of power. Remember when original Xbox came in 2001, it was more powerful than PlayStation 2. And Nintendo, of course, it was a very powerful console. And I think they're going to surpass that. They're going to hit that threshold with the second time around most powerful console. And this is exciting news, guys. This is really exciting. What you're going to be able to do, what developers will be able to do with Project Scorpio, it's going to be a heaven. They will have no limits, basically. If I'm a developer, if I own a studio, and I'm looking at these specs, I'm like, thank you, Phil Spencer. Thank you, Microsoft, for giving me this unlimited power to harness. So that way, let's say my friends at the CD Projekt Red, they can make the best looking cyberpunk game for the Project Scorpio. So the Project Scorpio version looks the best. Okay? Or let's say CD Projekt Red is creating a exclusive Scorpio game. That too alone is going to give what I'm trying to say is this. This is a great news because now developers that are like, this is great. Now they're happy because now they know with Project Scorpio on board, they're going to support this console, no questions asked. They're going to support this console because now they have a necessary hardware to truly make the games that they want to make and bring it out to us gamers in a console. And that's great news. Not to mention what they're going to be able to do with DirectX 12 architecture. Oh my God. Remember how I always talk about the games will become so photorealistic that you won't be able to tell a difference. People, we're so close. We're this close to getting to a very photorealistic games. They're going to look so real that your brain won't be able to tell a difference. Like, am I watching a movie or is this really a game? It's going to come to that point. It's going to be so photorealistic. See what else it has. Like I said, it has a very powerful CPU, 8 custom 86 cores clocked at 2.3 gigahertz, has 40 customized compute units clocked at 1172 megahertz, has 12 gigabytes of GDDR5 RAM with 326 gigabytes per second memory bus speed, which is insane. Now let's just look at the CPU and GPU. Both CPU and GPU are so insanely powerful that not only are your games going to look amazing, but the console is going to be so responsive. You're gonna have like zero input lag on this console. That's how fast this beast is going to be. And on top of that, you also get a hard drive. You get a 1 terabyte hard drive, which is great. Right out of the box, you have 1 terabyte. And on top of that, you also get a 4K UHD Blu-ray player. So, I can say, looking at the specs, I can tell you that this thing behind me, this chip, this beast, Scorpio, well, Ron John, you were right. I know I've been bashing Ron John. I've been, kind of mocking him because he's an Xbox fanboy, but he was right. Did I have my doubts? Of course, you always have doubts. That's what makes you a human being. You gotta have doubts. You shouldn't take everything for granted. So this is really a powerhouse, man. Phil Spencer wasn't kidding. And I always, look, I never said anything bad about Phil Spencer. I always praised Phil Spencer. I always said he's the type of guy who's honest, who doesn't BS, and he wasn't kidding. He wasn't kidding when he said that this is the most powerful console to date. To date. What does the mean to date? D-A-T-E, date. It means at the moment, when it becomes available in November, at that time it will be the most powerful console until something else comes along. And hands down, this is a 4K native machine. This is the ultimate 4K machine / console. Native 4K HDR. 4K HDR movies, UHD Blu-rays, streaming 4K content. I mean, this is the ultimate 4K experience. And yes, you're going to be able to watch and stream 4K from your browser on this thing as well. So this is hands down the ultimate 4K machine. So this holiday season, if you are in the market to buy a QLED TV, Samsung 4K TV, or a OLED TV, this is it. When you buy your 4K TV this holiday season, you buy Project Scorpio. Because that's all you're going to need. That's all you're going to need is Project Scorpio and a great 4K TV to go along with it, and you're set. You're set this holiday season. You're going to be fully immersed, and you're going to fully experience 4K at its best. From movies, entertainment, video games, hell, even porn, okay? Yes, Naughty America has 4K porn, has like thousands of 4K porns on there. High quality fucking cameras. They're using red cameras, so it's like high quality shit. I don't know why I'm throwing porn in there, but I'm just giving you a bigger picture as to what Project Scorpio is. And again, it is a 4K machine. Ultimate 4K machine. This is all you need, fellas. This is it. So now let's talk about the pricing. I don't know the pricing. No one knows. Does Digital Foundry know? I don't think they do. But even if they do, they probably cannot say anything because obviously Microsoft would have sued them, and that's that. Pricing. Let's talk about the pricing. What am I willing to pay for this powerhouse now that we know what this console has in terms of specs? How much am I willing to pay for this beast? 500? Take my money. Take my money. 600? It's still expensive, but yeah, tell you what. How about this? Even at 600, I wouldn't mind paying 600. And I'll explain why. Stay with me, people. Think about what you have. Just think about for a moment what you have inside this Project Scorpio. You got 4K UHD player. that's going to take full advantage of the CPU and GPU. It's going to look phenomenal on your 4K HDR TV. So right there, some of these 4K players are 300, the cheapest one at 300. So right there, you're saving money on a 4K Blu-ray player. Ability to stream 4K content, browse 4K content on your browser internet. Okay, watch Netflix in 4K, Amazon in 4K, other 4K apps as well. So that's another bonus. You don't have to spend $120 on a Roku 4K TV. So right there, you're saving another $100. That's $400 you're saving. And on top of that, you're getting a very expensive CPU and a GPU with the insanely fast memory RAM. So right there, I have no issue. I have no problem spending $600. I have no problem giving $600 to Phil Spencer and Microsoft for Scorpio. It's worth $600. But something tells me that he's going to drop it down to $500. Some people say, is it going to be $400? Let me tell you. If Phil Spencer announces this June E3 in Los Angeles, if he says 400, that will be a standing ovation of applauding for at least 20 minutes, cheering, whistling. That shit will be sold out half a second. Sold out, pre-orders. And but I don't think that'll happen. I think reasonable, we'll see 500 to 550, you know. So look, guys, there's no question about this. This is a powerhouse. Now, my fear, remember how I talk about my fear? My only fear is that I want to see some games. I want to see some first-party exclusives. Okay? It will be a shame. It will be a sad, sad, sad shame to have such a powerhouse, a beast, not harnessing first-party AAA exclusive games. But I also believe the reason why Phil Spencer been traveling around the world, China, Japan, Latin America, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, you freaking name it, all over Europe. The reason he's been doing that, and of course all over the United States, the reason he's been doing that is probably giving this first development kit of a Scorpio to developers so they can design AAA exclusive Xbox project games. Look, Gears of War 4 is going to look insanely photorealistic. Forza 7 is going to look insanely photorealistic. Forza Horizon 4 is going to be sick. I mean, it's going to be like unbelievably beyond sick. That's how good it's going to look. Halo 6 is going to be unbelievably sick. So these are the ones we know Microsoft has. But I want to see something else. I want to see some new ideas down the road. And I think we will see those new ideas. And of course, the bonus is that even third-party games will look better because now developers have this beast. And they can do something special when they have this powerhouse. They're going to say, okay, why should we spend too much time? Let's just patch up this PlayStation 4 Pro version, but let's harness that power from Scorpio. Now, let's talk about Sony. What Sony move's going to be once Scorpio gets released? Well, first of all, Sony is already winning in terms of sales, in terms of their exclusive games. Each week, past 2-3 weeks, they've been pumping out, past month and a half, they've been pumping out exclusives. So they're pretty good on the numbers, okay? And the amount of exclusives they have till November, till Scorpio gets released, PlayStation 4 Pro, it's already locked in. They already got this console locked in. So they're already benefiting. So Sony's okay. But come 2018, especially 2019, that's when I believe 2019 we might see an announcement of PlayStation 5 for 2020 release. Or maybe 2019 holiday release. Now, this is just me guessing. I'm not a prophet, some modern prophet. I don't have a crystal ball. I can't see these things, but this is what I truly believe. Okay, so my thoughts, my opinions are that this is a powerhouse. This is a true powerhouse, people. This is it. I don't call it the 4K gaming. I call it 4K machine. What I mean by ultimate 4K machine, it means it does everything. It does native 4K gaming, high fidelity, I can't even speak, man. High fidelity, photorealistic graphics with 4K movies, 4K entertainment. And yes, this beast will also be able to run 4K VR. Think about that. Not only are you going to be immersed with 4K HDR gaming, 4K movies, 4K entertainment, but at the same time, you're going to be immersed at the 4K VR. This is the ultimate 4K machine, hands down, honestly. I think with this console, Microsoft is set for at least 2022 or 2024. They're set till 2023 or 2024. I think 2024, they're going to have to push, they're going to have to do something. But this is a console that I can see at least I can see 6 to 7 years. I can see 7 years of a lifespan for this console. And I'm not joking. I can easily see 7 years for this console. So there you have it, guys. These are my thoughts. These are my opinions. Keep that in mind. This is just what I think so far, what I have seen. Of course, E3, Los Angeles, June. We're going to pretty much know everything there is to know. The way the console looks, the way the controller is designed, the user interface, what type of games, and of course the pricing. How much is going to be cost, and then the release date in November. I'm guessing probably November 12th or November 15th. I think probably November 15th or November 12th, something like that. In between November 12th to 15th, somewhere in there, right around the corner of Thanksgiving. So that's what I'm guessing. Now, tomorrow it's Friday. Well, for you guys who are watching this, it's going to be Friday already. Okay? So it's already Friday, as a matter of fact. It's already Friday. So today, I'm going to be doing a Persona 5 marathon. So today, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, you're going to see a truckload of Persona 5. It's a really cool Japanese turn-down based combat game. It's a really cool game. You think of it like Final Fantasy meets Japanese Grand Theft Auto, but it's limited, like where you can go type of a game. But it has all of these different elements in it, man. It's a really cool game. And it's a very social game. It's a very adventurous game. There's so many characters. There's so much to do on Persona 5. And I also suggest you guys watch the Persona anime TV show. Watch that as well on Funimation. And it's going to be a lot of fun, man. We're going to have a lot of fun with that game. You know that. It's going to be a lot of fun. The reason I chose to go with Persona 5 is because it's going to be one of those live streams, that's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a lot of fun. Now, besides the live stream, there will be a second disc called From Planet Earth 2. I found this perfect, guys. I'm telling you, perfect calibration for Planet Earth 2 called The Desert. There's this one video called The Desert. It's in Africa. And wait till you see how I calibrated that. Oh my God, the calibration. I'm sure you guys will agree the calibration is top notch. But also remember, the calibration I'm going to show you tomorrow with Planet Earth 2, The Desert, it'll only apply to Samsung KS8000 and up 9000 owners. If you don't have a Samsung KS series 8000 or 9000, that calibration is not going to work on the other TVs. Okay, so that's what I'm doing tomorrow. I mean today, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Persona 5 Marathon and Planet Earth 2 Desert calibration. You guys are going to be blown away by this calibration. And it's going to be recorded in 4K. Alright guys, so hopefully you enjoy this. We're going to have a lot of fun today with Persona 5 and Planet Earth 2. Especially Persona 5, man. I'm going to go as far as I can go. So bring your beer, bring your drinks, whatever. We're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to have a good time. Yeah, and you know me, putting some voiceovers, putting some comedy into it, triggering a lot of people, not triggering a lot of people. I mean, you know me. I like to keep it entertaining, but at the same time, fun. Okay, so there you have it. That's all I have for you. And if you get triggered by this ugly face, ugly face, well, good. That's great. Cheers. Have a good one, guys. Take care. I'll see you today.